It's another week, and I'm back with you for AI News of the Week with Marcy Newell and Amber Ivy, aka AI. We're super excited to chat with y'all about some of the latest developments in the world of AI. It is likely going to be a shorter podcast or shorter YouTube, wherever you're watching this, because it's not as much happening this week, but still some notable things that we want to talk about. All right, Marcy, kick us off.
All right, so of course, I'm going to start with one of my favorite finds, and that's with a website called Ideogram, and I absolutely love it. So you can think about it like a text to image tool, but what makes this one different is that you can write text. I'm stuttering because I'm too excited. So basically, it's as simple as just putting, let's say, the word, "Hey, I see a cute little robot." And then you can put the word saying, and then in quotation marks, put the quote that you actually wanted to say. That's how I found that I get the best results, so that the system actually says, this is the difference between the prompt versus the word that you actually want to show up in the image. So just wanted to give you guys that little tip. But it makes
and let me say
amazing.
something about this part. Oh yeah, cool. One thing for folks who don't use some of the text to AI image software tools like Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, and others that exist. Right now, those tools struggle with creating words. So, like for example, if I put in a prompt about maybe a cartoon script, what you'll see is very weird symbols that look like words. So, this is one of the first tools that we've seen that actually can get the words right, because some of the AI tools still get things wrong, like fingers, ears. You'll see detached earlobes. You'll see 6 fingers or fingers not done the same way, as well as words. So we're super excited about this because now we can put words in those beautiful images that y'all are making. So now you definitely will find it very hard to figure out if a human made it or not versus AI.
Yeah, and just a few more things. So we always want to do like the pros and cons. So of course, I had to compare it to Midjourney. So I would say that some of the resolution, for example, like the facial features and some of the details, they're not as good as Midjourney. I'm going to do a more extensive review on Ideogram. I'll post that later today on my channel on YouTube. But Midjourney still wins, I think, as far as the hyper realistic photography styles, because you're going to get more clarity, it's going to be more definition, it's going to look more like photography. But with Ideogram, I mean, it's up there. You guys know I talk every day. I mean, every week about Midjourney. I mean, it's really up there. So I'm excited to see as they improve the quality of it. I've seen people making stickers with it, even celebrities and cartoons, which we know that a lot of other sites, they're not making as high of a resemblance when they put in those type of, names of people, unless you're like doing it locally and you're using like something that allows you to do everything on the back end. But so this is really an amazing tool. And right now it is for personal use. They did say it's not for commercial use. They have made other announcements that I don't know exactly what they mean yet, but do whatever you want with it. But right now, the terms and conditions do say it is for personal use. Whatever you do on your end, that's your choice. But at least play with it. It is free and it's unlimited. So you can make all the images that you want. I mean, like if you're making social media content, like just for yourself to promote yourself or like to make memes or, I mean, it is, or even get inspiration to do other things. I mean, or even like how I'm using it. Like you can make YouTube thumbnails with it, and you can do basically other type of artwork in order to promote yourself online. So the fact that it creates an AI, even with like 3D text, I mean, it's amazing. Like just stay tuned for that review I do later, and then you're going to get way more insight on it as far as the quality.
I love it.
So next up, just kind of like a little fun thing. I didn't even write down the name. I just saw an article on it. I thought that was like really interesting. Is that they said that a neural network, they had like a drone and that it beat out the person. So for me, I was just like, I'm just thinking about all the different applications that using drones and, even for safety or even getting people help, like when they're in remote locations and it's dangerous. Like let's say somebody fell down a well and they needed the extra rope or they needed a tool to get out. Like even using
or water,
these kind
food,
of tools.
stuff that a human may not be able to get there. to them sooner, you can probably send this thing in and at least give them what they need to stay alive.
Exactly. So I was just like, wow. So not it's not just about speed, but because drones can be
Mhm.
so small or little bots, like where they can get into
Oh,
places
yeah.
like you said. I mean, it just really motivated me to see how many more lives are going to be saved with using these AI tools. I always
Mhm.
just like to look at the other side. I always say it's not just about cute stuff, people, making funny images. It's like, no, what are the real world applications? So I just
Oh,
really
yeah.
it's a little nerve wracking sometimes, how things are becoming so much better than us. But at the same time, it's like, wow, no, if we use it in the right way, it can be really helpful to the rest of us.
And isn't that like any good parent to his child? You want it to be better than you. So to me, that's the way I look at AI. Like humans still created it, but we want it to be better so it can progress society. So all amazing things can happen, right? We're just not a stagnant society. So I love it.
Yeah, me too. I agree. The next thing, back to something a little bit deeper, but if you guys don't know, I've said it several times. As a research scientist, one of the most important aspects for me is accuracy when we're dealing with large language models and being able to access information. Now, so we do have to talk about OpenAI and ChatGPT because now we're starting to see more plugins being created, right? And
Mhm.
now there are a higher number of research plugins. And many people are
Okay.
thinking, oh, I can actually use this for research. Now I can use this for school or work. Well, I have to point out something that most people have missed because if you're not in the field of research, you're not going to understand what's going on. So, public research libraries, most of them have a paywall. Okay. You'll get a small glimpse of the article. You don't get the full article. Okay. So a lot of these plugins, they're connecting you to the public databases that don't have the full research. So you might get a quote, but because you don't have access to the full research, you don't know if through the trial and error, through the testing, in the conclusion, in the limitations, if it was actually saying the opposite results of the quote that you're using because you don't have because you don't have access to the full article. So for example, if you are in school, like with the EBSCO library, you're going to have access to the entire article, the research, and you can find it easier that way. So for me, to be honest, the ultimate solution is when companies like ChatGPT partner up with educational institutions like EBSCO to have full access to the library, and maybe that would be accessible to paid members, like GPT-4 and up, in order to have access to these full libraries. Because unfortunately, people are believing that, hey, if I just use this research plugin, I'm getting everything that's factually evident. And it's like, sorry, you're not. Because even though it's giving you a quote, you're still not getting the full information because you're still behind a paywall. So you need to read the entire article, people. You can't just, take a quote out of a paper and then not understanding the conclusion of that research. So I think that's something important that people need to keep in mind when they're using these tools.
Yeah, I'm all for opening up research to the general population because right now, like you said, it is behind a paywall. So you often only see like the front page of that, and then people will quote the front page, but they didn't go into the details. So if AI can help with that, I'm totally interested to see where that goes.
Yeah, I really hope like the EBSCO library really starts. To me, that would be like one of the most perfect partnerships, especially because you can access research from global resources. So that would bring a higher level of what I would say would be acceptable. But sometimes when you don't understand the back end or the details, people think, oh, this is great and it's amazing. And I'm looking at it like, but did you read the conclusion? What you said was proven wrong. Like, it makes your
Mhm,
entire
mhm.
research wrong. It's like, what are you talking about?
Right.
So if you, and I say this because so many people are going to get in bad situations with their business, they're not going to maybe give proper information. And so if they're embarrassed and proven wrong later on, they're going to say, well, I found this on a research plugin. And I'm like, well, did you see the conclusion? And if they didn't, they're not going to have anybody to blame but themselves because they trusted a
Yeah,
company
there's
that
one
did not tell them that.
Yeah, there's one big piece of research. I will not say it on this podcast. If you want to know, come on my Instagram or anywhere and ask me. But there's one piece of research that's been so misquoted, so wrong. I thought it was real because literally major news cycles picked it up and all this stuff. Then when I read the actual data, I was like, the first person who interpreted it wrong. And literally to this day, people say the stat and it's totally incorrect. Again, I'm not going to say what it is here on this conversation. If you want to know, you need to directly contact me and then I maybe tell you. But literally everyone says it. And I'm sitting there like, that's not true because someone messed up and did not look at the data the right way.
Stuff. Just another quick update with RunwayML. They released a 3D capture feature, which are similar to like Nerfs, which stands for Neural Radiance Field. Basically, just think about taking a 2D image and then turning it to 3D. And then you're able to create an environment. So the fact that they're making it easier.
That's not the one that's taking the images and making videos, right?
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it is that one. Okay, I saw that one.
So you would go to, you can get like an image from Midjourney, and then you put it into RunwayML, and then you turn that into a video. And now what they're trying to do is then take that 2D image and then try to turn it into more of like a 3D image. So like with a 3D environment.
That would be crazy if folks are out here creating Midjourney shorts using these AI tools. That's going to be very interesting.
I mean, they already do. They're fun. So I have to post some more of those. But yeah, it's a great thing. The next one, I know I'm going to probably say this name wrong. I'm not sure. But it's called, it's from Meta AI. I think it's BeleBele or BeleBele. I don't know. But basically, it's a multilingual reading comprehension data set spanning 102 language variants.
How do you spell that one for folks listening or watching?
It's BeleBele. So it's just, it's like the same word twice. Yeah.
I think
you guys have to look that up. So
yeah, I think it's BeleBele.
Another thing
I may
to
be
look
wrong.
up.
BeleBele or something like that.
I'm not sure.
I don't remember. I feel like I've heard someone say the name. It's the only reason why when you spelled it, I'm like, oh, I've heard someone actually say that, but I don't remember either how to say it.
And then the next one we want to talk about Portfolio Pilot, and they are the first SEC regulated AI financial advisor. So, I mean, that's blowing my mind. We see how, like I think you're the one that told me about, like you said, it was like 500% increase in their investment in different companies when they're using AI software. So with companies like this,
return.
Yeah. Yep. So, I mean, that's amazing. So I don't want to talk too much on that because I haven't found too much research on it, but I did want to bring it to people's attention as far as what's going on in the financial sector as far as AI. So next up, we have just to bring attention.
Jump in on that one really quick.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I did look at the article on that one. So Portfolio Pilot, what it says is that the platform is created by a company called Global Predictions. Isn't that an interesting name? And it's registered as a financial advisor. Just a reminder that folks have to be registered to get financial advice. So make sure y'all are getting financial advice from folks who are registered. But it is the first non-human entity to do this. The platform right now, just based on what the website said, is that it's a combination of AI and a proprietary economic insight engine. It provides users with up-to-date information, portfolio overhauls, AI equity searches, and fee optimization tools. For folks who are trading, you do get you're paying fees and things like that. So it's helping there. I want to look into more, and maybe we can talk about next week to see how deep it really gets. Because right now, it sounds like it's real basic. It doesn't sound like it's what I thought it was. Like in my mind, I thought it was like, oh, this AI will tell me what stock to buy and what happens there. I'm not sure if it's doing that part of it yet. So I need to research this and we can come back to it next week. But they did have the tool available beforehand, before they launched it. And it provided like real-time advice and things like that. So we'll see how deep it gets. It also says it lacks human biases, which is cool. So it's supposed to take away the human emotion and should be purely data and fact driven. So I'm really excited about the future of this because like Marcy was saying at the beginning, they ran an AI against a human within like the stock trading and did research on that. And the AI was able to get a 500% return. So for folks to understand like what that means, normal returns over a period, like most people say, you can expect an average return of 6 to 10%, depending on what have you, in 10 years. That thing got 500% in a few months. So it is likely going to change a few things. Like think about wealth, think about the current systems that already are using some type of AI to understand when to trade things and et cetera, or some type of machine learning to know when to trade. So the stock market has been using these advanced tools for a very long time, not to this level. So it's going to be interesting to see all the data that's happening in the background, and then what happens when an AI tool is empowering all that data. And then at what point are we all just overly optimized and then it's going against each other? Like, I'm just thinking about like if there are multiple AIs giving advice, how does it actually work in the end of it? So yeah, that's
Yeah.
very interesting to me. I would love to keep talking about it in the coming weeks.
Yeah, that's man, it's man. I'm speechless to be honest. That looks like it could be extremely helpful, to make lots of money. So I think we would
Yeah,
all
so I'm
love
like,
that.
if you get in on it now, you may be all right. But then what happens when, well, maybe everyone doesn't get in on it, right? Because no technology everyone gets in on it. So I was thinking like, at what point is it too efficient that everyone is either neutral at making money because everything is fighting against itself, and eventually the whole
Yeah.
system is just going back and forth with each other. So then you flatline. So that's what I'm thinking. Versus now, a few people have it, and a few people are going to benefit off of it. Which
Yeah.
let me go get sign up for this tool.
And the very last update that we have for today is that Baidu, which is a Chinese company, they released their Ernie bot to the public. Now they've been working on it for a long time, but it now, well, I don't know how much cheering yet because you do have to sign up. And I don't know if they allow people from other countries to sign up for it. I have to go look that up. I haven't signed up for it yet. Um, so it might be interesting for us. It might not be because I don't know if we have access, but it is something for you to be aware of, to check it out. We do want to talk more about, for example, AI tools from different countries.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
going to make another video. For example, there's a major company like Alibaba has their model company, which is called ModelScope. And they
Mm-hmm.
now, I think it's like at 700 models
Oh wow,
that they
really big.
have as far as AI tools. And so, yeah, they pretty much have everything.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that you could think of is there. So that one is available to the US. You can sign up with a
Okay,
US
cool.
phone number so you can access. Some pages you may have to like translate to English, but for the most part, it's it's easy to translate. So I use it all the time. I love it. So that is a great tool. So yeah, definitely check out Baidu with the Ernie bot. And I mean, there are so many. I don't want to mention all the other tools that they have coming out. But yeah, that's pretty much all of the updates that we have for this week. And then I'll try to go through some of these and then create an actual walkthrough so that you guys can see it on my channel on YouTube. So yeah, are there any other topics that you want to talk about?
No, I just wanted you to let everyone know you're going to start doing AI daily news. Can you tell us about
Oh
that?
yeah. Oh, I've just been doing it for the last, think what, 2, 3 days. I've been trying to
Mm-hmm.
post daily because, like I said, every week we have so many, different topics that we're cutting
So many.
out.
Yeah.
Um, so I was like, I don't want to keep missing out because by the end of the week, at that rate, I'm missing out on like 50 to 60 topics that I
Oh
haven't
yeah,
shared with you guys. So I'm
that's
gonna
true.
start posting at least, between 5 to 10 on
Mm-hmm.
my channel on YouTube, Marcy Noel, and then you guys can say, okay, now we're kind of caught up, and then we do more of a commentary where we explain more of our views, our perspectives on it, and then we kind of go back and forth and try to ask the questions that you guys wonder yourself as far as what are other people thinking, how can I use this product in my life. I know Amber told
Right.
me that we want to discuss more about that. It's not just about the technical aspects, but hey,
Right.
let us not only educate you to other resources, but let's try to foreshadow questions that you guys may have so that you can learn how to actually use this in your personal life.
Totally agree. The other thing I did want to call out is there is a conference next week in DC. It's called Voice and AI, September 5th through 7th. in Washington, D.C. I think it's at the Washington Hilton. The website is voiceand.ai. I should be speaking on a panel there Thursday at 12:15 with James Barrett or Jim Barrett. Hopefully some others will be there. We'll be talking about the future of work in AI. So please make sure to check it out if you're available to come. OpenAI, a few companies that are on the list, OpenAI, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Google, Veriton are supposed to be there, and a whole bunch of companies and speakers will be there from different companies like Adam Goldberg from OpenAI, folks from Shamala Prayaga from NVIDIA. It's just a whole bunch of different people going to be there in the building. So please make sure you come and check it out. Again, the website is voiceand.ai. Other than that, this is your go-to girls for AI, Marcy Newell and Amber Ivy. Make sure you please subscribe to both of our channels. We're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep talking about these topics, and it's going to get even more interesting. So make sure you stay tuned. I will see y'all soon. Have a long weekend. Just so you know, we actually are recording this on the right week that we say it is. Have a long weekend and enjoy your Labor Day. Peace.